I'm Ed Marion, builder, passive house consultant, and as of May of this year, a proud member of the great team at Greening Homes, sponsors of tonight's event. And yeah, so I want to talk about power and energy consumption, and particularly electricity. I did the project. This project 4 years ago that I'm living in now, and I'd just like to start off by basically talking or asking a few questions about to find out what our collective power literacy is. So, who can guess how much power, how many watts this draws a coffee maker? Anybody? Take a guess. Except for Greg. 1,200? 1,000? Okay, let's see. Let's see how we. 570 watts for this particular one, 2 cups. So it uses 0.05 kilowatt hours. How do you figure that out? Well, 570 watts, it runs for about 5 minutes, so it'd be 570 watts times 5 minutes divided by 60 minutes gives you 0.05 kilowatt hours for a 2-cup portion. So annually, that is $390. $3.90. Usage, that's at 10 cups a week. So how about the toaster? Anybody?
That's at least
1,200. Anybody else? Come on, this is a second of 27 appliances that I'm going to throw at you.
2,800.
By the time I get to the, how much? 2,800? Okay, well, it's actually 900 watts. 900 watts for about 2 minutes, and then the slice pops out. So that uses about 0.03 kilowatt hours. So our toast habit, man, is costing us $1.64 a year approximately. Okay, so this is just a bit of background on the project I'm going to be referring to. It was a deep energy retrofit. I was attempting to get the passive house standard initially. Didn't quite make it, but nonetheless, the house ended up with a really great building envelope. So initially, this is what it looked like: 1957 bungalow with basically no insulation in the walls and about 1,800 square feet, including the basement. That's 1,800 square feet of heated space. Post retrofit, now it's a story and a half, about 2,750 square feet with a really awesome building envelope. This is the envelope summary. So under slab R15, basement walls R32, above ground R32, top floor walls. The top floor was sort of brand new construction, so I was able to do a more interesting wall, a double stud wall with lots of R values, R64. The roof ranges from R60 to R80, so I just put R72 as kind of an average in there. And I've got Krypton filled fiberglass windows with different glass formula on the north than on the south side, high gain on the south. So every month I get my hydro bill. Every 2 months I get my hydro bill, and I tabulate the data since we moved into the house in 2011. And what I do is I take the usage, the total kilowatt hours used, and then I'll break it down as per the hydro bill into what the on-peak was, what the mid-peak, and what off-peak was. So I'm able to build a profile of exactly how much my entire house is using at what times of the day. Now this is how it breaks down. So since 2012, you can see that we've done a pretty good job of using mostly off-peak electricity. You know, of about 1,000 kilowatt hours in 2012, 600 of it was all off-peak. It's pretty impossible to escape using power on peak and off-peak simply because of the times that they're hitting you for. Right? You can't bring them off and at dinner time. So there you go. By the way, see there's a bit of a spike here in 2014. So the winter of 13, 14, 14, 15 were quite severe winters that we had here. There was a similar number of heating degree days. But in the second winter, what I decided to do was heat my house and keep my basement at 20 degrees Celsius for the entire winter. The reason I did that is because I wanted to have some relevant data to compare my house to passive house, the passive house standard. A lot of times people have houses that they don't heat, they're very cool, and if you have a really great building envelope but you don't run your heating system, you run the house really cool to save money, you're not really comparing apples to apples. So the passive house standard, everything correlates to 20 degrees Celsius, so I kind of ran this experiment. So what happened is I ended up using quite a bit more electricity, as you can see, because it's an all-electric house. Again, same number of heating degree days, but 20%, 30% more electricity. And the net result was that apart from using more power was A, my wife was really annoyed for the entire winter, and B, the house was too hot. The house was uncomfortably hot, especially the second floor. It was too hot for sleeping. The average temperature was about 21 degrees, and actually that's too warm for sleeping in the winter time. The basement was clearly at 20. The main floor was probably about 22, 23, and no, probably 21. But it was just too warm. Anyway, that was the kilowatt hours. This represents the usage. So this is the actual kilowatt hours used. This represents all of the costs. So the blue portion at the bottom is the kilowatt hours for the usage, and the rest of it is the other charges that get thrown at you every month. So you've got delivery in blue, in red, regulatory charges, and then debt retirement. So you can see that you've got basically almost 50% of the costs of the hydro costs are in non-usage categories. You can see that our yearly, since 2012, we're using anywhere from $1,200 worth of electricity up to almost $2,000 in a year. It's a crazy experiment. Back in 2013, when I made this chart, my house was one of the bigger ones on the street. So I live in Oakville, and my house was a bungalow. When I converted it, it was maybe the second house on the street that had been made into a larger home. The rest of the homes are still bungalows. But this is available at the Oakville Hydro website. It gives you a comparison of how you're doing compared to your neighbors. So you can see that the red bar is the neighbors, and the green bar is our passive house retrofit. If you look at the annual total, we use slightly more electricity than the average on the street. If you break it down by month, you can see that in the winter months we use a little bit more, we use less in the summer. But what this doesn't tell you, it doesn't tell you the full story, because we're actually, this is all of the energy consumed in our house, including heating, space heating, and domestic hot water, whereas every other house on the street is probably using gas. So when you consider that, we're actually way ahead of the competition. And again, this is all comparing to houses that probably have 30 to 40% less square heated floor area. Mechanical heating system summary. I've got no gas equipment at all. It's changed slightly over the past couple of years, but this is what I'm running right now. I've got 2 kilowatts, or 2,000 watts of baseboard heaters in 3 zones with programmable stats. A Mitsubishi ductless system that's a 1-ton unit, and a Rheem hot water tank, which was the domestic hot water tank, which is now basically supplying power to an in-floor heating system in the basement. And I have a GE heat pump water heater, which I've also got a bit of data on it now. So one of the things that your hydro bill doesn't tell you is where the power is going. You don't know how much your stove is using or how much your heating system is using. You know collectively what the big picture is, but you don't know exactly what each individual circuit is doing. So I had a lot of interest in finding out exactly how much my heating system is using. So I have 4 heating circuits that are dedicated to heating, including the heat pump, which delivers cooling. So I can accurately measure the kilowatt hour by installing a system called TED, all of my power consumption for the stuff I really want to know about. So basically, in your electrical panel, you've got these transmitters. They're called current transformers, and they clip onto the wires in your electrical panel. This particular system that I have can do up to 4. So there's that, and then it relays the signal, or the current is transmitted to these MTUs, and then they send a signal to this gateway, which then appears on my laptop. So this is the dashboard. And I don't know why I took a screenshot when nothing was happening, but in any event, I guess my house is only using 2.6 hours this month or whatever. But yeah, it gives you a really good breakdown. You've got the kilowatt hours used since midnight. You've got the net, so that's the sum of all 4 circuits, and then you can look at every circuit individually. It gives you how much power you've used since midnight this month, projected usage, average totally daily usage. So again, these are really good, very interesting statistics. The history tab has a 48-hour log, and as well as a separate 14-day history and a 24-month history. So you get a lot of really good ongoing data, and you can see what's happening day to day, hour to hour. One of the first charts that I pulled off gave me, for example, the first snapshot of what's using what. So this is the heating for 2013. So when I look at it, I can see that my dining room baseboard circuit on the main floor was using about 600 kilowatt hours. This is the mini-split, the Mitsubishi system. You can see it's using very little power, and I'll come back to that in a second. But the bathroom and then the basement were using, 600 change and basically over 1,400. You can see that the main main heating demand is in the basement. The Mitsubishi unit, the ductless unit, has enough capacity to actually heat the entire house, but because it's located high on the 2nd floor, the heat just collects up there. So when it's cold, it gets hot up there in about 5 minutes, and we have to turn the system off. So lesson learned. I did this in 2010, 2011, and a good lesson is that it's hard to heat an entire house from a single point distribution system. from a single distribution point. Subsequently, we've installed multiple units, usually one high and one low in the house, in order to benefit from the heat pump COPs that straight electric resistance just doesn't offer. So this is the heat pump water I now have. It's a GeoSpring. It's been running for about 2 years. I've been measuring it for about a year. I installed it kind of halfway through one of the heating seasons. I didn't want to lose my continuity of data, so I haven't been measuring it that long. But this is the total usage summary. So again, this is whole house. Oops, sorry. This is heating, cooling, domestic hot water, and other electricity. So you can see the heating portion is at the bottom here, and the rest of the household use is up on top. And over here, this is what this is estimated and extrapolated to show approximately what the domestic hot water is going to be this year with the heat pump water heater. So I hope you're paying attention to make this happen. Please, this presentation. You just have to remember which column that the yellow was in. So how does that compare? What does all this mean? And I think it's useful to compare it to what the passive house standard is because it's something that probably everybody in this room is aware of. It's something that we strive to, we're conscious of when we're designing buildings. Just for refreshers, the annual heat demand for certification is 15 kilowatt hours per square meter per year. And primary energy is 120 kilowatt hours per square meter per year. So just to be clear, so passive house certification is based on modeled, not actual measured. But nonetheless, I think it's relevant to go through this exercise, mostly because most of the heat is delivered through straight electric resistance heating. So it's actually a pretty good barometer of what the house is actually using. If the building envelope is demanding 1,000 kilowatt hours, that's what the heating system is delivering. If there was a heat pump doing it, it might only deliver, it would deliver the same heat, but only maybe use 300 kilowatt hours of electricity. But this is an accurate representation, I believe, of how the building envelope is performing. So down on the bottom, you have the passive house standard, 15 kilowatt hours. This is what I modeled in PHPP, 35 kilowatt hours, and this is what I'm actually achieving. So this is my actual heating consumption measured to the kilowatt hour divided by the treating floor area, 200 square meters, over the past 4 years. So you can see there was 2 extreme winters we were quite a bit above, but other than that, I'm pretty close in the range. In fact, these 2 years are actually slightly less than 15 kilowatt hours per square meter. Again, this isn't what passive house certification is actually based on, but as a representation of how the building is performing, I'd say it's quite reasonable. And then primary energy, same thing. Primary energy 120. I never do a good job of explaining what primary energy is, but it's kind of like the energy, source energy adjusted for all the stuff like inefficiencies of coal-powered power plants and transmission losses and whatnot. The sort of a standard factor of 2.7 in passive house that you multiply. So if you're using 1,000 watts or 1,000 kilowatt hours at your house, you should multiply by 2.7 to come to 2,700. But all to say that passive house certification level is 120, PHPP model about 165, 170, and the best we've done is maybe around 140. But it's still, again, very close in the realm of what passive house sets as a benchmark or as a criteria level. And like in the near passive house is like cappuccino. The question was, am I doing anything with the cool discharge from the heat pump water heater? And so actually what it does is it tends to cool the house quite a bit as it gets colder. So it has multiple operating modes. So I just recently took it off of straight heat pump, and it's in hybrid mode now. And it runs a little less frequently, and it kind of cools the mechanical room a little bit less. And when I get to probably into December, January, I'm going to switch it into all electric mode. So it would be good to be able to use that cool air that comes off there. It does dehumidify and cool the basement in the summertime, which is like a third of our living area. But no, outside of that, I haven't found really a creative way to tap into that. But anyway, I think that's my time, folks. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of the presentations.